Hi everyone, Susan Brady here of Nurtured Bones. So you get your annual lab work done. Your doctor says everything looks normal, but have you ever wondered whether those labs are actually optimal for your bone health? And this is something that's often overlooked. Yet, routine lab work may sometimes contain important clues about what could be impacting your bones. Now, routine labs cannot diagnose osteoporosis, but certain lab patterns may provide additional insight into factors that influence bone health, influence bone quality, inflammation, metabolism, and even fracture risk. So today I want to walk through 5 lab markers and patterns that may be worth paying attention to when it comes to your bone health. The first is parathyroid hormone, also known as PTH. PTH plays a major role in regulating calcium levels within the blood. And this is important because calcium is involved in many critical functions throughout the body, including muscle contraction, nerve signaling, heart rhythm, and blood clotting. And because of this, the body works very hard to keep blood calcium levels stable. One of the main places calcium is stored is within the skeleton. So if calcium intake is low, or vitamin D is inadequate, or absorption is impaired, or the body is struggling to maintain calcium balance, PTH may rise. And one of the ways it helps maintain blood calcium is by pulling calcium out of the bones and into the bloodstream. Now, this is a normal survival mechanism in the short term, but when PTH remains elevated over time, it may contribute to increased bone breakdown and negatively impact bone density and bone quality. The second area is thyroid function. Thyroid hormones influence metabolism throughout the body, including bone remodeling and bone turnover. And when thyroid hormone activity becomes too high or hyperthyroidism, bone turnover may speed up, meaning bone is broken down faster than the body can rebuild it over time. However, low thyroid activity or hypothyroidism may also indirectly affect bone health through fatigue and muscle weakness, a slowed metabolism, digestive issues, and impaired nutrient absorption. And when evaluating thyroid health, it's important to look beyond TSH alone. So looking at free T4 and free T3 may provide additional insight into how thyroid hormone is being produced, converted, as well as utilized within the body. The third area is inflammation and white blood cell patterns. Now, this is something we're learning more and more about in the research. In fact, a recent 2026 study published in Immunity, Inflammation, and Disease looked at inflammatory markers derived from routine blood work and found associations between certain inflammatory patterns, osteoporosis risk, and lower bone density. And one marker receiving increasing attention is the neutrophil to lymphocyte ratio, or the NLR, which is calculated from your routine CBC. And this may provide insight into chronic low-grade inflammation within the body, which is important because chronic inflammation may stimulate osteoclast activity, or those cells responsible for breaking down bone. The fourth area is protein and nutrient status. Your bones are not just made up of calcium. About half of bone volume is actually protein matrix. And your body needs adequate protein, amino acids, vitamins, minerals to rebuild and maintain strong bones. And if digestion, absorption, or dietary intake are compromised, that may affect the body's ability to support healthy bone remodeling. So, looking at markers related to total protein, albumin, B12, iron status, and overall nutritional patterns may provide additional insight. And then finally, blood sugar and insulin resistance. Many people don't realize that blood sugar regulation may also influence bone quality. And chronically elevated blood sugar and insulin resistance may increase inflammation, negatively affect collagen integrity, and impact overall bone strength over time. And this is another area where it's important to look beyond a single lab view. So it's important to look at fasting blood glucose, hemoglobin A1C, as well as fasting insulin all together, because it's going to give you a more complete picture of blood sugar regulation and metabolic health. Bone health is about much more than calcium and bone density alone. Your bones are influenced by hormones and inflammation and metabolism, digestion, nutrition, and overall health patterns throughout the body. And sometimes routine lab work may provide a deeper look into what may be impacting your bones. So during National Osteoporosis Awareness Month, I'm offering personalized bone health lab reviews for women who want to take a deeper look into their bone health and better understand the bigger picture behind their labs. So if you're ready to take a deeper look into your bone health, I'd love to help. You can schedule your bone health lab review using the link in the description of this video. Thank you and have a great rest of your day.